The Green Bay Packers are the best team in the NFL through 2 weeks. And listen, I got all the stats to tell you so, but eye test wise, it checks out as well. Jordan Love looks great. This offensive line looks good. Tucker Kraft looks like he's ready to break out. Josh Jacobs, despite not being very efficient so far on the ground, looks like Josh Jacobs. On Thursday night against the Commanders, he forced 7 missed tackles. Everyone else in that game combined forced 8. So Josh Jacobs still looks like a dominant running back. I'm still not sold on any of these wide receivers in particular. Disappointing start for Matthew Golden. I expected a lot more from him coming out the gate, but there's still a lot of B- type options in that room, a lot of really good options that have some high upside in that wide receiver room as well. And the offense overall hasn't been spectacular, but they're taking really good care of the football. One of 6 teams without a giveaway in the NFL so far as well. And listen, the story of the Green Bay Packers, we all know what it is. It's this defense, gentlemen. Again, my God, flying around all phases of the game. The defensive line generating pressures. These linebackers as well. Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper, maybe my favorite duo to watch in the league. These guys are also flying around, getting things done. PFF's number 1 graded overall team, 2nd graded overall defense, second graded overall offense, 4th best pass grade per PFF as well. 1st in receiving grade, despite what I said about their wide receivers, they're 1st in receiving grade, 5th overall defense, 2nd best coverage grade. And speaking of that 2nd best coverage grade, Keyshawn Nixon is the number 1 graded corner per PFF. And as the nearest defender in coverage in week 2 per Next Gen Stats, 6 targets, 1 catch allowed, 9 yards, 5 pass breakups. So a 39.6 quarterback rating when targeted and just 1 yard of average separation from those receivers. And listen, look at who they did it against. Okay, 2 of the best offenses in football from last year, 2 of the final 4 NFC teams remaining from last year, the Detroit Lions and the Washington Commanders. So again, am I ready to change my Super Bowl pick to the Green Bay Packers? No, I'm not ready to do that yet. However, Joe, you sent it in the chat and the broadcast showed it as well. When did the first great Packers quarterback, Bart Starr, win his first Super Bowl? Age 27
years old.
How about Brett Favre, the second one? When did he win it?
27 years old, baby.
How about the third one? Aaron Rodgers, when did he win it?
27 years old, baby.
And how old is Jordan Love right now?
He's 26. He turns 27.
Technically 26
this year.
But he's going to turn 27 in November. So
Joe, you're all of those, man.
We built up to call him 26 years old.
Joe, I'm so happy you were alive to see all of those QBs, man. That's just awesome.
We gotta get Joe's perspective on that first Bart Starr championship. I'm sure that's going to make a great video one day. But listen. Lord. All of them 27 years old when they won titles, and it all seems to be aligning for these 2025 Green Bay Packers that are primed and ready, it seems like, to make a Super Bowl run. So I'm going to kick it to the old man in the middle. Joe, what do you think about these Green Bay Packers? Are they the best team in the NFL?
It's easy through 2 weeks to say they are the best team in the NFL, and I'm a guy who tends to hop on bandwagons pretty quick. We all know, everyone on this channel knows that. We've all seen that. I've been taking it in the teeth for some comments I made about a team that won't be mentioned right now, but we're going to talk about them later. Yeah, they're the best team in the NFL through 2 weeks. They have, to your point, faced 2 really good offenses and absolutely embarrassed them from just an overall football standpoint. They have produced, they are averaging 27 points per game right now. They are one of the best offenses in the league from an efficiency point. They don't turn the ball over. They take care of the football. They're doing everything you want to do, and the defense is absolutely balling out. The Micah Parsons trade looks more and more like a great thing for the Green Bay Packers. Not a concern about his back injury. The guy's absolutely balling. You talked about it last week, talking about the Lions-Packers game, that there was a half a second difference that Jared Goff's time to throw when Micah Parsons wasn't on the field. That is a major impact considering the fact that it's almost 25% more time to throw than most quarterbacks get on average. So when you look at it from that perspective, yeah, everything about this says the Green Bay Packers are the best team in football right now. We got to hold off on crowning them Super Bowl favorites because since 2003, you know how many teams have won a conference championship with a week 5 bye?
Oh, wow.
5 since 2003.
That's a great
Do you know how many have gone on to win the Super Bowl? 2, the 2009 New Orleans Saints and the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
So
it's a great
having an early bye is not good. It is no man's land when it comes to winning Super Bowls or seeing a conference championship. The Packers have a lot working against them. But if you're a superstitious man or a superstitious fan, I should say, you're going all in. 27 is the special number, baby. And they are averaging 27 points per game. These guys turning 27. It sounds like Super Bowl title town time in Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, they look different right now. And to your point, again, it's hard to crown a team through 2 weeks in the season. But like we talked about, I mean, two great opponents to start out the year. And you look at the scores of those games, like they weren't even that close. Like it was 27-6 with Detroit with, a minute left. And then Tesla makes that crazy one-hand catch. It was 27-10 against the Commanders. And they made a little bit of a run towards the end. But again, it wasn't even that close either. So every single stat is in their favor right now. And the eye test checks out with that as well. But Sammy, I'm kicking it to you, man. What do you think about these Green Bay Packers? Best team in the NFL or not?
Right now, I think they are. I don't think it's really close. Like, I think there is a really significant gap right now between the Packers and then the next team in terms of what we've seen so far. I knew this team was serious when they held Jahmyr Gibbs and that Lions rushing offense to 46 yards, okay? Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 back in the league, and they're inheriting a top 5 offensive line as well. There's no way in hell that they should only have 46 rushing yards. But that leads me to my first point, and in my opinion, why this team is so successful. It's their front seven. I mean, their front seven is the best in football. And I hate to say it, but again, not very close. I mean, we could start with the obvious Micah Parsons, but Rashawn Gary was already a great pass rusher before Micah Parsons got there. Then on top of that, Lucas Van Ness, look, he was a first-round pick, and look, was he worth the first-round pick? Maybe not, but right now he's starting to show up. It helps to have a guy like Micah Parsons really it just helps Lucas Van Ness so much to have Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons to just really go behind. And then on top of that, we mentioned their rushing defense. A lot of that has a lot to do with Devontae Wyatt and how he stepped up into that interior. There was a lot of fear that Kenny Clark leaving would 1,000% just diminish the rushing offense. That has not been the case, and it was made very clear the very first week. The Commanders, I'm not putting too much stock in the Commanders' rushing offense.
He's a Bill hater.
I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it as much as I believe in the Lions one. Okay, so I think it can be solid. It can be solid. I don't hate Bill, guys. I don't hate Bill.
He hates that I picked Bill. He hates Bill's my
No, I don't hate Bill. Bill's a great guy. Great guy, great story. I just think having him be like this looks. I'm gonna
derail him.
I'm gonna digress. I'm gonna say
flustered by Bill right now.
I'm not flustered. It's just you guys are gonna make me say mean things about Bill, and I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to say mean things about Bill. So chill out. Okay, the front seven is the best in football. But want to know what nobody's talking about? How good this secondary has actually been. Look, the Lions offense and the Commanders offense, they have two of the most efficient passing offenses in the entire league. One because of Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and the other because of Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. They already had a very underrated safety duo in Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams. I don't think that duo gets enough credit. But the cornerback room, a lot of fear going into the season. Hey, it's kind of their weakest group. Can they attack it? Haven't been able to so far, and we've seen the best offenses do it. I want to shout out as well Edgar and Cooper, because Edgar and Cooper has been playing so damn well, and he's not getting talked about. And right now, he's been the best linebacker in football. I genuinely believe that. He's been fantastic. Now, I want to talk about this Packers offense. I have an opinion about this Packers offense that I think might be a bit unpopular. I'm not very impressed by this Packers offense. I'm not. And particularly because of Jordan Love. I know Jordan Love has looked pretty good. He's looked pretty solid. But I feel like there are too many times the offense leaves points on the board. We see 27, I believe they scored 27 in week 1 and 27 in week 2. So back-to-back games with 27 points. That should be at 34 points. That should be maybe even 40 points. Thank goodness their defense is damn good, because if it wasn't, the game might have been lost. So that game on Thursday night had no business being that close heading into the fourth quarter. And credit to Jordan Love for really having a clutch drive and scoring. But I need to see more from Jordan Love. Nobody's really separated themselves in terms of weapons aside from Tucker Kraft and Josh Jacobs. I need to see more from him from the offense. And Matt LaFleur's damn good at his job. Okay, he is. I expect more points to be put on the board, especially against the Browns. No disrespect to the Browns. You're just the Browns.
Facts. The Browns are the Browns.
Yeah. I just like how Jordan or Sammy just disrespected the number 4 quarterback in rating, the number 8 quarterback in QBR, and the number 10 quarterback in yards. Like, I'm not that impressed with them, you know.
Watch the tape, man. Great. It's not
QBR is literally the metric that
I feel like there are too many plays. Look, it's easy to look at the statistics.
Brother, you are a hard person to please. You're having quarterback trauma because of things happening in Miami.
I am not a hard person to please. I am not a hard person to please. Okay, I am not. Look, I'm not saying Jordan Love is bad. He's been great. I expect a lot more. That's all, and maybe that's asking a lot from a team with not a lot of proven wide receivers, but look, you kind of struck a nerve with mentioning Tua there, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to make my point here, and you struck a nerve there. Look. I can't even say respect my travel chief anymore. Look,
can't do it.
Jordan Love. I think the key for the Packers to win this Super Bowl, if they want to win a Super Bowl, it's going to come down to Jordan Love, because I think the defense is already all going to be there. But the truth is that the weapons that the Packers have aren't relatively impressive. You're going to have to rely on the play calling. You're going to have to rely on the play design and the execution, and all of it falls on Jordan Love. So down the stretch, can we trust him? That's going to be the real question.
Yeah, it's a big question mark for Jordan Love and the Packers for sure. And I think Tucker Kraft, as we saw on Thursday, might become that go-to weapon. He was looking like a monster. He was looking like, baby Gronk out there running people over and running, crisp routes and making big plays too. He's one of the best yards after catch receivers in the NFL. But I mean, Green Bay Packers, what do you got? I'm going to spam some stats here just because I have them. The Packers defense, 4th in points per game, 3rd in total yards. Like we mentioned, 2nd in rushing yards, 48.5 rushing yards per game. And Sammy was trashing the Washington run game. Last year, Washington's run game was 3rd in the NFL. They had the 3rd best run game in the NFL. Now you lose Brian Robinson, you bring in Bill, Austin Eckler gets hurt. It might be a little bit worse this year. But again, Jaden Daniels is a part of that running game as well. He's a big time runner of the football as well from the quarterback position. So they're 10th in passing yards, but they're 1st in opponents' yards per attempt at 4.7 yards per game. That's versus Jared Goff and Jaden Daniels. So again, 2 quarterbacks extremely efficient who had really good yards per attempt last year and dominated them. Also tied for the 3rd most sacks in the NFL. And Sammy, you mentioned it. Edgerrin Cooper is one of the best linebackers in the NFL. He leads the NFL in a stat called hustle stops. Hustle stops are basically defensive stops where the player covers 20 plus yards of in-play distance from snap to tackle. So it means he's running his ass off to make a tackle. And so you combine that with his talent level, you combine that with effort, and you combine that with a high motor, and Edgerrin Cooper is one of the best linebackers in the NFL. And you watch that game on Thursday, the Washington Commanders had 2 explosive plays per next gen that defines an explosive play as a run of 10 or more yards and a pass of 20 or more yards. So on 65 total plays, they had 2 explosive plays, which is 3.1% explosive play rate. That would have been the single lowest explosive play rate in a single game in the entire NFL last year. So again, the Green Bay Packers are absolutely dominating high-level offenses so far this year. And I don't know about these guys. I wasn't huge on the Packers going into the season before they traded for Micah Parsons. Now they get Micah Parsons. It completely injects this entire team with a whole lot of energy. You can see just the energy. You can see the vibe change with this team. And this is the best team in the NFL right now, and we'll see if they can continue it going forward.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.